Hey, Coach Black, congratulations on victory number 100. Quite a career. Your impact on this school, community, and city is unmatched. Great job on the field, great job off the field. You represent all that is good and great about Fulton High School, and just really proud of you. Glad you are our ball coach. Go Falcons.
Hey Rob, I want to celebrate your big 100th victory at Fulton High School. We're really pleased with your leadership, and above all, through the wins, whether it's victories or losses, you have faithfully and continually invested in the lives of young men in our city. So not only are their lives better, but our community is better because of you. I love you, brother.
All right, hey Robbie, congratulations from two old timers.
Yeah, congratulations to you.
100 wins, pretty impressive. I don't know that anybody that knows you, Rob, or knows how you operate would be surprised by that at all. I'm so excited for you. I could congratulate you in one of the many voices that we do together, but I don't know if that'd be appropriate for this little video here. But so excited for you and happy for you. Looking forward for 100 more. Congrats, Rob.
Congratulations, Coach Rob Black, on recording your 100th victory. Great job. Congratulations to yourself, the team, your staff. Go Falcons.
Coach Black, I just want to say congratulations on reaching victory number 100 as a head coach. Awesome accomplishment for a well-deserving guy. I appreciate everything you've done for me during my playing days at Fulton, and also allowing me to work alongside you as an assistant. So again, congratulations, man, and keep it going.
After a week off, the Fulton Falcons took the field as they traveled to Huntsville, Tennessee to take on the Scott Highlanders in a big Region 2-4A football game. And the Falcons come away with a 49-0 victory, win number 5 on the year and win number 100 for Fulton High School head football coach Rob Black. Welcome to a late night edition of Fulton After Dark, actually very early in the morning here, the wee hours, the wee small ones of a Saturday morning here at Fulton High School. Russell Mays joined by the head coach, I guess the guest of honor tonight, Coach Rob Black, win number 100. Just your thoughts as you think through everything that happened tonight.
You know, Russell, a special night. And really it's special because I get to share it with so many special people, you know, and and I've said it before. I mean, in the game of football, and it's a team thing, and you know, I just don't think there's any accomplishments that one person can have without the help of so many others. And I've been blessed to have really good players, some great players, great coaches and staff members and support, and so with all of those people, you know, we share this 100th win.
Well, and I know, you know, you go back to 2011, it seemed like it took forever to get win number 1.
Yeah, you know, it was on the road as well, you know, and man, that was a fun night, you know, to get that first win, and we were at Pigeon Forge, and I think down at halftime, and you know, came back the second half and got a win, and it just seems like yesterday, you know, that happened. And it's been a fun night. It's been a special night. You know, just celebrate the win, but then, you know, get on the bus and you know, a bunch of former players, you know, texting me, and you know, Deshaun Page is in a hotel somewhere getting ready to play Alabama tomorrow, and he texts me, and you know, Dominic Williams and Tommy Sweat, and the list goes on and on of guys that have reached out to me, and that's what it's all about, because all of those guys right there were a part of these victories.
Well, and from a historical standpoint, only 14 people that have coached high school football in the history of high school football in Knox County has won 100 games, and as you can imagine, that's a pretty elaborate list. Dave Meskey, Clark Duncan, Buck Coatney, some of the guys that are on that list. And what does it mean to you to have your name with all those others?
Well, those are all special people and good football coaches, and deserving of all the successes that they've had. And so, you know, to be with those guys is special. but again, I think the most special thing, for me is I got to do it right here at Fulton High School, which is home, and I got to share it with so many, special people that have been on this journey with me.
Well, we want to thank all the folks that contributed to our video that we showed at the beginning of our program today as we celebrate Coach Rob Black's 100th win, and that's just a handful of people that have had a hand in the success of Fulton down through the years.
Well, the list goes on and on. And everybody knows around here all the different people that have had their hand in on everything around the school. Whether it be just the school itself or athletics, football, whatever it is. And again, it's just a special place, and there's special people involved here, and the blessing is truly mine.
The Falcons win 49-0 over the Scott Highlanders. Coach, a bye week last week, you had a chance to work on a few things. Then kind of another unusual situation this week with fall break. A lot of things to work through in a 2-week span to get ready to play a football game.
Going on the road, region game, and it meant something. Tonight's win means something. And we were a little short-handed, had some guys out tonight, had some guys get banged up during the game tonight. Marcellus gets the call, on his first start as quarterback, and man, what a game he had. He was all over the place and fun to watch.
Just getting the ball in his hands on every play just goes to show you just the athleticism that he has. A couple of runs that he had on the night were quite remarkable down the Fulton sideline. We were kind of thinking he was getting ready to get knocked out of bounds, and somehow he was able to step through and reel off 10 carries for 241 yards. The first time in 2 years a Fulton back has gone over 200 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Pretty strong performance just on the ground, running the ball.
And we went into it with the plan of being as balanced as we could be, and our plan was to let him throw the football, and whatever this game called for, we were going to do, and we had some success early running it and kind of stuck with that, though we did throw him, let him throw it a little bit, and he can. But I thought he had a phenomenal night, and the special thing is, if you look at Marcellus, we practiced every day this week in the morning, being off with fall break, and after every practice, he wanted to stay afterwards and get some extra work in, and so Coach Diggs, myself, stayed down there and coached him up a little bit, and he recruited receivers and running backs and people like that to stay and help him get some extra work in, and that's a mark of a special player, and because of that and his athletic ability, successful night for him.
Well, and again, Marcellus, 10 carries for 241 yards and 3 touchdowns. No doubt he'll be on a bunch of the Player of the Week list as we go into the beginning of next week. But, Coach, looking at Scott on film, one of the games that really stuck out was against South Doyle when it was 14-10 at halftime, and South Doyle, frankly, was lucky to be ahead at halftime in that game. I think you had to know going in you needed to get off to a really quick start, and that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, we did, and I said that's the last thing I really said to him before we, left the locker room to go down and play is we need to start fast and stay fast and work early, and we were able to do that. And I thought that was huge. I thought that was very important in this game. I thought gaining some confidence and momentum at the same time would be a key, and we were, again, able to accomplish that.
Defensively, the Falcons got off to a pretty quick start. Scott found a couple of things that they were able to do to really be able to move the ball a little bit, but every time Fulton was able to bow their neck, and as the game went along, made adjustments and really made life difficult for the Highlanders.
We gave them a couple of different looks. They did a couple things, a little bit different, and they did find a couple things there and got a couple first downs. But again, like you said, we bowed up. Thought we were really good up front tonight. Thought our up front people played real well. Penetration was evident on about every snap, and Seth, Keenan, Bill, Cam, all those guys were penetrating and making it tough on them, and that's the way it needed to be tonight. That was the plan going in, and we executed pretty well.
Scott was held for a total of 90 yards of total offense on the night, but I do want to make mention of their quarterback, Brady Strunk, who's definitely one tough customer, had a couple of really tough runs and really stood in there a couple of times with some pressure. I was really impressed with his performance and just his toughness tonight.
You know, I was impressed with him tonight, but I was also impressed with him on film. You know, we talked about that Monday, you know, when we came in and met as a team Monday before we went outside. Talked about him being a good athlete, a good player, a guy that can make plays, and we'd seen him do it on film, and he made a few tonight. And he's, like you said, a tough kid and a good player, and I think only a junior, so he's got quite the future ahead of him.
Taking a road trip, and this was the longest road trip of the year, on fall break, what kind of adjustments did you have to make to your pregame schedule just to get your team ready to go?
You know, we came in a little earlier, you know, with it being a long trip, and, you know, came in a little earlier, loaded up the charter buses and went about halfway, stopped at a church, had a nice meal, and let me give a shout out to Main Street Baptist Church in Rocky Top. Those people are top notch, and, you know, they fed us, and we got to just kind of sit and relax and take a load off for a few minutes, and then loaded back up and drove the second half in there, and then had plenty of time to get dressed and taped and, you know, meet with a few players here and there and give them a few reminders or whatever. So it was nice to have fall break, you know, and nice to be able to have some extra time to do some of those things. And so I think our guys appreciate a trip like that, you know. I think they had a good time. It helps to win, obviously, but it was a fun night, a fun trip, and, you know, something that I always look forward to.
Taking a look at some of the scoring plays on the game for the Falcons, of course, we talked about the fine job that Marcellus Jackson did at quarterback. Had a 70-yard touchdown run to open up the game, just a thing of beauty.
It was, you know, and I think Marcellus will tell you, you know, his run was nice, but the hole that he ran through was pretty good too, you know, and so I think he would tell you that he had some lead blockers and some pullers and some guys that opened some things up for him all night long, and that was good to see in the run game. That was a challenge this week. You know, we challenged our offensive line to, you know, to stay on blocks a little bit longer this week. You know, we looked back at a couple of previous games, and I felt like we were kind of blocking and releasing a little bit quick, and we were better at that tonight. And again, that was a thing of beauty. That thing opened up really nice.
Jackson, a 70-yard touchdown run. You follow up that with Damian McDowell gets an 8-yard touchdown run.
Damian's first start at tailback. You know, he's a big back. Thought he ran it hard. Got a little banged up tonight, but you know, went into it with confidence with him. You know, felt like he would be a guy that we could count on tonight, and he proved that with his first few carries.
And then at the end of the first quarter, the Falcons led 14-0. You get another 64-yard run by Marcellus Jackson that makes it 21-0. And then just before halftime, you have one play. You hit a big pass to Antonio Kyle that sets up a touchdown. And talk about the decision making. You've got 6 seconds left. You're within field goal range. You chose to go for it, and you get a touchdown pass. Marcellus to Dre Peebles.
Well, ran a little play action, you know, and we had run it with success. Felt like we might could get them a little bit on play action. Also gives us a chance for Marmar to put a ball in somebody's belly and then sneak out the back door. And, you know, told Dre, you know, when we went up to halftime, thought he did a really good job setting up his defender with that route, and just felt like we, you know, gave him a little different set. They probably haven't seen us in the two-back tight end set very much, and so we kind of gave him a little run look and was able to sneak Marmar out of the back and hit Dre in the back of the end zone. So good little play.
From a coaching standpoint, how good is it to have a backup quarterback, be able to put a drive together like that in just over a minute and be able to get a touchdown on the last play?
Yeah, I thought that was huge, and especially if you look at Marmar, I mean, he's played a lot of football here. It's just not been at quarterback. You know, he started for us as a freshman, but he's a heady kid. He kind of knows how to manage a game, and sometimes he manages a game as a receiver even sometimes, or a defensive back, kind of like our quarterback on defense. So he's had some experience doing that part of it, but to see him be able to do that, you know, as a signal caller tonight was pretty good. And honestly, going into it, I felt pretty good about him.
Falcons led 27-0 at halftime. What was your message to the team?
Well, to keep going. You know, I challenged them before we left to go back down, you know, to keep the foot on the gas pedal, not to play to the scoreboard, to learn how to finish a game, you know, and I thought we did that, you know, and then late in the game we were able to get some other guys in, and that was also good to see.
Second half kickoff returned by guess who? Marcellus Jackson, 80 yards for a kickoff return right up the middle of the field.
Well, you know, our kickoff return team should be a weapon for us all the time, and we haven't done a great job maybe blocking it the way we're coached to block it sometimes. And I thought Coach Humphrey worked hard on that this past week. We had some extra time on that, and even Coach Hedrick got in there when we were working on special teams this week, and got a little excited about it. And so our guys bought in, you know, and we talked about that just a little bit ago up there as we were kind of peeking at the film, that thought we did a really good job of executing what we put in. And Marcellus, again, just showed his patience getting up there, and then when it opened up, he hit that gear and took off, and I knew when it opened up it was over with.
Jackson added another 33-yard touchdown run, and then late in the ball game you get an opportunity to put Dre Peebles in at quarterback, and he finished off with a 52-yard touchdown run. That just adds a little bit more to your arsenal with another person back there at quarterback.
Yeah, what a great kid. I mean, Dre Peebles is I mean, he's second to none. He is a solid kid that I love to coach, you know, and he's very unselfish, you know. Wasn't worried about how many touches he gets or anything else, just wants to play the game, loves to play the game. And he was a guy, again, you know, when I looked and said, you know, we're a little short-handed at quarterback. If something was to happen to Marmar or we needed to get another guy in there for one reason or another, he was our next option. And so we spent this past week, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, repping him back there in a little Wildcat package. And smart kid. I mean, after day one, he kind of had it, you know, and so, you know, he again went in and executed, and it was fun to see him get to do that.
And sometimes by necessity, sometimes through luxury, you were able to play a lot of people tonight, and especially a lot of young people. What does it mean just to get those guys game experience?
Well, it means, you know, a couple of things. Number one, it's good for your future, and number two, it gives those guys that play scout team during the week or come out during the week and, you know, work their tail off knowing that I'm probably not going to get a whole lot of reps, if any, and then all of a sudden they get a chance to go in there and reap some reward of their work during the week. So it's always good to get those guys in there.
So the Falcons get the win over Scott High, 49-0. The Falcons now 5-3 overall on the year with 2 games remaining. Most importantly, 2-2 in region play. You're set up pretty well for the play as far as making the playoffs. That's just a big win tonight from that standpoint.
Well, you know, this time of year, that's kind of what you start looking at, you know, and if you put yourself in a position to get in the playoffs, then you want to start playing well. And I'll say this, you know, this was week 8 for us, you know, as far as games go, and got 2 more to go. And I told our team during the week and reminded them before the game, you know, you want to be playing your best football at the end of the year. And tonight was the night we needed to start doing that, so that, again, you look into next week and say, now we're executing a little bit better the next week, playing a little bit better, and then, you know, week 10 it looks a little bit better, and then come playoff time you feel like you're playing your best football, and that's the plan.
A non-region game next week as the Falcons return to Bob Black Field, as the Falcons take on the Farragut Admirals, and that's probably about as tough of a non-region game as you could possibly find at this point in the year.
It is, you know, and I think they're playing well right now. They got beat on the last second field goal tonight by an undefeated team. But Farragut, they'll be tough. They're well coached, and they don't play people both ways like we do. So our backs will be against the wall a little bit. But again, I think our team, especially after grabbing this momentum that we got tonight and executing some things pretty well, will be looking forward to the challenge this coming Friday night.
It'll be the Farragut Admirals at Bob Black Field coming up next Friday night. Coach Black, again, congratulations on win number 100.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
You've been watching Fulton After Dark here on WKCS Radio and also on the WKCS Radio YouTube channel. We want to thank you for watching, and again remind you that we hope that you'll join us at Bob Black Field next Friday night as the Falcons take on the Farragut Admirals. That will be a 7 o'clock kickoff, and then the following week the regular season ending game as the Falcons will take on the Carter Hornets. So 2 more games left in the regular season, and both of those will be at Bob Black Field. We certainly hope that you will join us. If not, you can listen on WKCS Radio or watch our YouTube video stream. We want to thank Robert Sheffield and Nicholas Slagle in the studio for their help in making this broadcast possible. Until we talk to you again next week on Fulton After Dark, for the head coach of the Fulton Falcons, Rob Black, this is Russell May saying thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Good night, Reagan. Good night, Anderson.